Mamas, it's Jen from Kids Eat Vegetables, and I'm in the kitchen today working on a recipe that will be included in this week's newsletter. If you don't get our newsletter, it's called Veggie Bites. It comes out every Saturday morning. Go to kidseatvegetables.com/tips. You can sign up for the newsletter. You'll also receive a free ebook that has 10 tips to getting your kids to eat vegetables, as well as several really great recipes that are kid tested, kid approved, and get your kids on the journey to eating more vegetables. But as I was putting together this recipe, I wanted to talk a little bit about it. So I thought I'd jump on live and just kind of talk about some changes you can make or some ideas around this recipe. It's very simple to make. I'm going to show you the little batter. So I'm calling it cauliflower fritters. Let's pause on that. Cauliflower fritters. You're probably gonna have a 4-year-old who's gonna like freak out. Like, what does that even mean? I don't know what cauliflower is. I don't know what a fritter is. Like, they're gonna they're gonna be very unsure about a cauliflower fritter. But it's simple. It's very simple ingredients. They're very tasty. So I challenge you to call them whatever you want. Use the recipe and call them whatever that you want. If your kid's into nuggets, call them nuggets. If your kid's into burgers, call them burgers. Just call them rounds because they're going to be little round patties. You're just going to fry it. You're going to take this mixture. I'm going to share the recipe with you in the newsletter. You're just going to put them in a pan and fry them. So you can call them pancakes. You can call them nuggets. You can call them patties. You can just call them rounds, the shape that they're in. You can rename them superhero circles or, unicorn bites or whatever you want to call them, right? Be creative, right? The food manufacturers are constantly doing this with your kids, right? Most of your battles around processed food have to do with the packaging and some really cool label or name they gave it. You can do the same. So I might call them cauliflower fritters just so adults know what I'm speaking about, but for your kiddos, call them anything you want. Change the name, make it fun. Okay, a little bit about the recipe. So it's cauliflower, zucchini, eggs, coconut flour, salt and pepper, and I've included a little bit of turmeric, the spice turmeric, and a little bit of green onions. Those are optional. I include turmeric for a couple reasons. One, it gives it this really awesome golden color. So you're like, they're golden superhero circles or golden flash or whatever you want to call it. Make up a name. But it makes them a little bit of a golden color, which is appealing. And also turmeric mixed with cauliflower and pepper is like a great combination of an anti-inflammatory. So it really helps our body fight inflammation. And if you know anything about inflammation, inflammation is the root of all disease in our bodies. So if we can really eat foods that help reduce inflammation, fabulous. So maybe the first time you make them, you don't have turmeric. That's fine. Maybe if your kids like them the next time or the hubby's eating them up, add some turmeric. It's a simple spice. It doesn't add a strong flavor and it's very powerful. So those are the basic ingredients. Like I said, I'll have the complete recipe in this week's newsletter. I challenge you to name them and call them whatever you want. A couple tips about the recipe. So you're going to rice the cauliflower. You're going to put the cauliflower in your food processor, run your food processor and rice that up. So riced cauliflower, very simple to do. I then put it in the microwave on a little glass plate for maybe 2 minutes to soften it up. At that point, you're going to want to let it cool. But a real key to this recipe is to take your riced cauliflower and put it in a dish towel or a very thin cloth napkin and wring out as much moisture as possible. That's really going to help these little patties or these little rounds or little fritters to stick together. So removing as much of the excess liquid from the cauliflower is really going to help. You can do the same thing with the zucchini. When you shred up the zucchini, put it in a cloth napkin, squeeze out as much liquid as possible. That's really going to help these to stay together. If your kids love cheese and you're not real sure they're going to like these, add a little bit of cheese. That's fine. Very simple recipe. You can easily add a little bit of cheese. I know a couple of my viewers are egg-free. They don't eat egg. You can easily substitute the egg with an egg substitute or a little bit of a flax meal substitute. So yeah, it's a very, very easy, forgiving recipe. Again, you're just going to make these into little patties, fry it on the top of the stovetop, and there you go. So recipe will be in this week's newsletter, kidseatvegetables.com/tips. Tell me, come back and tell us what you're naming these. Tell us what you're calling these. Give us your ideas, share your ideas. And, you know, like I said, the food manufacturers are doing this every day. There's no reason as moms why we can't do the same. So come up with some creative names. Get your older kids involved in this. And, oh, one more thing. I like to make a little dip for these. You can easily, I've made this before if you've seen my other recipes for the broccoli bites or even for my chicken nuggets. It's just a combination of avocado and Greek yogurt. So equal parts, maybe a fourth of a cup or half of an avocado, fourth of a cup of Greek yogurt, a little bit of salt and pepper. Mix that together. It's a fabulous dip. So healthy, full of a lot of omega-3s and healthy fats to keep our little brains, our children's little brains growing. Great for moms as well. So that's a simple dip that you can make for these little nugget, fritter, rounds, burgers, whatever you want to call them. So I hope you enjoy. Again, sign up for the newsletter, kidseatvegetables.com/tips, where I will share this recipe on Saturday morning. Enjoy your day. Bye, ladies.